How about a little something different instead of spinach? Some wilted Swiss chard with a vinaigrette dressing on top and some edible flowers. I've got the recipe. Let's get cooking with style. When Kevin Grangetta heard I wanted to do something with Swiss chard, he said, let me call my buddy Rocky over at Sage Hill Ranch Gardens and see if he's got any coming out of the ground. And sure enough, he did. This was picked fresh this morning. There's a trick to making this though. When you're wilting the leaves, the stems cook much slower. So we're gonna trim those out like that. We're gonna chop these into kind of bite-sized pieces, and then we're gonna take the stem and just dice it up a little bit. Save the stems because they're gonna get cooked first, and they'll be going in the wilted chard salad. So I'm gonna set this stuff aside, move my portable cooking station up here, and I've already got my bacon in there, which I pre-cooked. I pre-cooked this bacon, and I've drained off the fat. So to this, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then I'm gonna add a 1/4 onion here, which I sliced nice and thin. You see how it's nice and thin like that? And we're gonna saute this just for about 3 or 4 minutes, just to soften up the onions. So the onions and bacon have been cooking for about a minute or 2. Now I'm gonna add the stems of that Swiss chard in there. And we're gonna saute this for another 2 or 3 minutes to soften these up. And then this will all take that leafy Swiss chard and make that beautiful vinaigrette dressing. We're coming into the home stretch of the dressing. We're gonna put in our garlic now, and the reason I put it in at the end is I like my garlic to be soft and tender. If you overcook it, it can get a little bit bitter. To this, we're gonna add a tablespoon or more of Dijon mustard, and then that'll give us kind of more of a tang in our dressing. We're also gonna add our craisins or dried cranberries. And then to that, I'm gonna add about a 1/3 more cup to a 1/2 cup of olive oil, tablespoon of sugar, and then we're gonna add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of vinegar. We're gonna let this come to a boil. Oh, and don't forget a little bit of pepper, some black pepper. All right, this is already starting to boil a little bit. Get everything incorporated really well. Have your heat on high. We're working off of an induction cooker, so it's a little bit tricky for me out here. And then to this, I'm gonna add my Swiss chard. And I'm gonna toss it just gently, because all we're trying to do is wilt it here, okay? So a little bit more. And that dressing is nice and hot, so it gets over everything. And that starts to wilt it, and pull the ingredients up from the bottom so they get up over everything. A little bit more. See how I'm cooking this down? This is like 3 heads or 3 bunches of Swiss chard, and it's already wilting down. And I've got this on high to make sure that I'm searing these leaves to get them to wilt. We almost got them all in there. All right, so this is almost done. Oh, if you could smell this, it's just so fragrant. Make sure you get all the ingredients from the bottom up on top, because those are nice and hot, helping wilt this Swiss chard. And you can see how much it's gone down. All right, so this will take about another minute of me tossing it gently, and then we'll plate it up so you can see what it looks like. So about another total minute on this wilted chard here, and we're gonna plate this up. And I've got some really cool little edible flowers that I'm gonna put on top of this as well. And we'll put this out. This will be kind of like our salad for Thanksgiving or any of the holiday meals, or for that matter, anytime you wanna have a nice little something different instead of just a leafy green salad. This is kind of like a hot spinach salad. And we'll go ahead and get this dressed up, and having all these little bits and pieces in here and that extra dressing. And wait till you see what happens when we put the edible flowers on top. Let's get that in there, arrange that just like so. Got to make it look pretty too. Okay, so Sage Hill Ranch Gardens has edible flowers, and watch what happens when we put just a little bit of flower petals on top. I mean, that just kind of sets it off. And actually these petals have a little bit of a flavor to them. So between the beautiful Swiss chard that we picked up this morning and these edible flowers on top from Sage Hill Ranch Gardens, I'm telling you what, man, this is absolutely perfect for the holiday season. Some wilted Swiss chard vinaigrette right here on location at Grangetto's in Encinitas. Happy holidays. If you'd like this recipe, go to our website, cbs8.com. Enjoy.